and Immortals. That's right. Liquid going to be putting their name to the test. And I think as the story is told, right now, they might be in a pretty vulnerable spot. So let's talk about just that.
Who's in a vulnerable spot? Immortals?
A little bit.
Liquid's they're number 3 in the standings, right? So, you know, they've got to win at least 1-1 every series from here on out to guarantee top 6. Immortals, I'm actually excited to see ZQK on stream for the first time on A stream since he joined. So I want to see how he does with the op.
And, well, I mean, that's one side of it, right? So looking at the Immortals, sorry. Looking at the Immortals, like you kind of have to take into consideration the roster stuff going on. Like you have to take that into consideration, though.
It's never easy for a team knowing that your team is falling apart right in front of your eyes, and when your teammate's going to leave to a much, I guess, better team. I don't want to say better, but better team than the one that you're on.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, they don't know that's happening yet, so let's be truthful here, right? Okay, so there has been rumors that Bolts might replace Phelps and SK, but that might happen after the E-League Major. So things are still up in the air, and they are far out in time, right? So for me, if I'm Bolts, I'm still going to go hard this match, right? Like, nobody wants to lose a match. Nobody wants to play average, right? He's just not that type of guy. I feel more bad for Steel, right? Because he's the guy who doesn't have these rumors of him leaving, but things can always change.
Well, you did say these two gentlemen, Bolts and Steel. Let's take a look at the rest of this lineup, though, because, you know what? They're equally as important. Look at that. Destiny, Horvey, and ZQK. Now, you said the one to be on the lookout for, at least from you tonight, would be ZQK. But what is there to say about Destiny and Horvey?
I mean, Destiny came in on his first match for Immortals and was banging. I remember on Train he went hard, and we actually said that, you know, like, Train's going to be a hard map for them to play with new lineup because it's pretty tactical, and then they come out and win on it, and then on Overpass as well. So Destiny definitely has good aim. He's always been renowned for his aim when he was on Luminosity. And then Horvey, right? So I've played Horvey in rank S a few times. He's a very good communicator. Seems like he knows the game well. Very good in-game movement mechanics. The person I'm not super familiar with is ZQK, right? Obviously, he's had his kind of like laundry list of negative things you could say about him in the professional scene. But I also think that he was in a bad spot on those teams, right? He's kind of like this like misfit on the team, like the only Brazilian guy, and he doesn't necessarily get the op. So I think this is a time for him to kind of like rebuild his reputation in a sense.
I was going to say something about ZQK being the misfit on the team and then go back to the minor and then go that whole route, but I think I'd be way wrong with that.
Yeah, but well, you're never wrong.
Well, yeah, you're right. I am the host, and that's just the way it is. So let's go ahead and take a look at this liquefied lineup right now here in front of us. Nitro, JDM, Stanislaw, Twisty Liege. And you're saying in the pre-show that this is a team that truly reflects North America right now, that has the cream of the crop, that has the players and the sort of, I just want to say, the firepower.
Well, they are considered one of, you know, 1 or 2 teams in North America, I'd say. And C9 maybe a little farther down the list. Who knows, though?
Do you want to know a reason I like Liquid that we haven't talked about yet? Is because none of their guys are big streamers. Right? Like, I think this is the first time in America that, like, a top team, you know, that's, like, considered top in the region doesn't have, like, this, you know, negative like thing over their head about like streaming, right? Like, oh, they might not practice so much because they're streaming, right? They don't have that excuse, right, and they don't want that excuse. Liquid's here to win tournaments, and that's what I like about them.
Yeah, I like that too, actually. Good point.
And the weird part is, too, if you even look at it, and how are we going to have that as a debate anymore, right? Like, as a streamer versus player, you know? Would you think that you should isolate down one avenue there? Should you be a pro player? Should you be a streamer? Should you be both, you know?
I mean, at the end of the day, you can't tell anyone what to do, right? If they want to stream, that's fine. If they can say that it doesn't take away from the team atmosphere, that's fine, right? But their opinion on whether or not it takes away from the team atmosphere is another argument, too.
Well, the real argument at hand here is based on Train. That's going to be our first map we go into between Immortals and Liquid. And guys, as we fly in these Betway odds, I kind of want to ask you where you stand in this initial map.
Well, seeing Immortals from a couple weeks ago, they looked really good on this map. But with everything considered, Team Liquid, I mean, obviously I think that's pretty... Well, I don't think it's that big of a gap, but I think Team Liquid is for sure the more favorite team.
Yeah, I've seen Twist playing that like back green and Train Stopper on the A bomb site way too often, getting 3Ks. So I think this one is easily going to be in Liquid's favor.
Well, that could certainly be the case. But we're going to go ahead and bring in our commentators now who were not quite ready, but that's hilarious to me. Hey, guys, are you ready now, though? Are you ready now, though? That's the real question.
We're always ready.
Always ready, baby. It looks a little bit more prepared than you guys, not going to lie. I felt like that segment was lackluster.
Are you kidding me? I did calves earlier this morning. I'm pumped up.
We'll see if you do a better job after this break, but me and Blue are going to take it away here, provide a little quality content. We're going to dive into Train first, right?
Yeah, we are going to be jumping into Train for our first map. Cobblestone will be the second map here, and it should be a relatively good one. Obviously, Immortals still kind of in shambles here, but they've already put up a good fight against some other top-tier teams, so they're going to have to look to do it again here.
Well, you know, there's so much in the Brazilian scene that's happening constantly, movement. You don't know what state the team's ever going to be in. They got ZQK, Destiny, and Horvey coming into lineup here. But then we see on HLTV the other day, purely speculation, of course, that Bolts might be going to SK. So does that affect them? Is it obvious? There's two dynamics in the Brazilian scene. One, which is, you know, that everyone knows each other, so that it might not be a big deal. They might have seen this coming outside the news, and they understand it. But two, they also could have some, you know, animosity. So we'll see what version of Immortals shows up today.
Yeah, well, Bolts is here this evening, so he's going to be jumping into the fray for Immortals at least one more time here. Technically 2 more times, but we'll jump into it. And again, as we said before, it's going to be on Train. Immortals will start on the T side. Team Liquid goes over to the CT side, and to begin, well, Steel will take up a position inside of T-Con. They'll have one more split away over towards Ivy and Horvey. It's a good thing he takes up that cubby spot because there is some aggression coming out from Team Liquid. 2 players pushing their way out here to try and contest. They give Horvey that info. He's able to go and he dinks JDM. However, it doesn't completely take him down just yet. Still alive with 36 HP. And I only know where Horvey's at. The flashbang goes out, doesn't get the greatest connection, so Horvey's only able to peek for a moment there before being forced back into the corner. And there's nowhere for him to run to. He is stuck in this battle. He's got to fight his way out, and he's going to be able to do it. Gets both of the kills on the players pushing out, but is surprised by the third one. Twist, who takes up position there, and Elige also finding a kill from just inside of the Ivy tunnel, but it's way across the site. Stan hopping back up here is going to be able to find Destiny, who's already low at 55 HP, but he hesitates, and that allows for Steel to push forward, getting a kill against him instead. CT's with just 2 players remaining are going to try to clutch this one out here as Elige and Twist both look to push back into the site. Elige leads the charge, but he's alone. Twist is still way back over here at the very edge of the Ivy tunnel and is now going to be alone in trying to clutch this. Won't even get close. Destiny knocks him out, and it's Immortals to go up 1-0 here to start off the map.
Well, that'll do. Horvey here showing a lot of poise, not overexcited. You know, just using that box to force the CTs into an uncomfortable position. Even if they also decided to double push him there, and JDM was right next to, you know, I think what was that? Stanislaw? JD? I don't know. Nitro and JDM. Even if they decided to push together, very, very advantageous angle from Horvey to hold from. I've sat by that box many a rounds myself, and now the full save here from Liquid.
Yeah, so they won't be looking to a super aggressive buy in the second round, as we sometimes see. Stan even pushing back box hauls on this relatively light buy, but it's not going to be able to catch anything at this point in time, but giving himself away, decides not to stick around for too much longer. He'll back up and remain the lone player defending the inner bomb site here. Won't have to worry about half position too much, though, as it does appear as though the Immortals are probably going to end up just going for another outer play here in a couple of seconds. They'll creep their way forward through Ivy with this 3-man push and begin the play. It'll be a nice slow crawl more than likely here, since the guys from Liquid are on the full eco, so they want to make sure to check all of their positions on the way in, or all of the enemy's positions, rather. And with the flashbang, they'll go out here and finally start to add some speed to the equation. 2 kills from Bolts. Stan tries to hop in there, and Twist actually, amongst the chaos, is able to get not just 1 kill, but now a second onto Destiny. Looking for number 3 here. There's another player hiding in the corner, but now he's the last one standing, as he's lost his only other teammate, Elige. It's close, tags down Horvey pretty low there, but is unable to find that second or third shot in order to get the kill, so Immortals will still close out in relatively clean fashion.
Twist trying to stand tall for Liquid there, as he's one of 2 players to have a frag so far on the CT side here. He's got 3. And Elige with 1. Not going to do it in the following rounds if they want to put up some good numbers on the CT side, but still very early. A couple players on Liquid grabbing nades. They're going to go for the team mid pre-nade, I'm assuming. We'll see. No, actually, they're saving those HEs. Looks like towards inner. Stanislaw trying to get a cheeky kill here. Bolt's aware of throwing an HE to land right under him. That'll hurt.
And now that's going to let Stan work his way out, but not for very long. Destiny is going to be able to knock him out of the equation pretty quickly here. The rest of Liquid just stacking towards inner. Well, as soon as Immortals are able to figure out that this outside side is relatively clear, they'll be able to walk in there, plant the bomb, and successfully pretty much guarantee their third round. Before they get to that, though, they are probably going to have to fight back here, as we do have the push from JDM, but that'll be managed pretty quickly. Nice quick kill from Bolts. And I think Liquid are starting to get the message as they rotate their players to the outer site, but just as they're doing that, Immortals, and with the 1-2 punch, they're going to rotate most of their players towards inner now and head over here towards B instead. And Liquid will decide to rotate those guys back because they see nothing executing out on the site. However, it's still not going to matter on a round like this. Very minimalist buy. Leash somehow actually sneaks the kill from all the way across the site with a measly little USP. Takes out ZQK, but it is now down to Twist. Oh, he had a player low there too. Was unable to line up the shot. Destiny knocks him out, and again, it's only one dead for the Immortals here as they take their third round.
All right, now here it is, the time for Liquid to jump back into the action. JDM will be grabbing an op finally, gives him a chance to put up a kill on the scoreboard, along with Nitro and Stanislav. Gonna see Immortals, looks like they're doing the standard couple mid-control smokes and 3 towards Ivy.
And so now with their players split up a little bit here, the default execute towards A is probably going to be the winning equation for Immortals, at least at the beginning of this round. That's how they'll look towards it, but that could change given how often we see things switching up on this map here. Liquid very heavily aggressing towards that outer site. They have the 2-man setup outside of ladder. Twist holding kind of solo actually towards Ivy, so he's actually going to be in a little bit of a delicate position there. So he has no support. If he goes down that Ivy side of the site, it's going to be cracked wide open with absolutely zero room for easy trades. Steel is ready to go in, but it's essentially a death trap right now with those 2 players sitting inside.
Super strong setup here from Team Liquid, but the only opening is Ivy, and where is 3 guys from Immortals going? Just there. As they reach out the corner, Destiny's going to find a first frag. Nope, but that's going to be ZQK, and Liquid staying up on top with the 4v3.
Nitro also finding Bolts, and Steel sneaking down. His teammates trying to distract from the outside. They have a limited amount of time on this, though. That smoke is eventually going to fade, but no, they both look away. And now Steel can spam it, but he's missing every single shot. Liquid hold on and destroy the hit from the Immortals to finally put them on the board.
Feels bad, man. Steel was down the ladder, waiting. I mean, in my eyes, he kind of outplayed them. They weren't expecting it. They both turned away. But it doesn't matter, Blue.
No, it doesn't.
Jeez. Well, Liquid does get their first round up on the board. And JDM doesn't even need to get a kill for that one. The reason I bring up his name is he's one of the pivotal players. That's the AWPer on the CT side from Liquid. But we're also going to see a double op from Stanislav here, who's trying to hold lower early. Might have been able to call that one cross, and he's just going to fall back and hopefully get a rifler to play up close for him, if possible.
We are going to end up seeing Immortals kind of crawl back now from these back positions and get themselves to their lineup here. Still obviously fully bought except for Bolts. But Liquid also getting a pretty good buy themselves. 2 ops to play off of, and even a 2-man commitment towards the inner site this early on in the round 2. So it actually looks like Immortals end up swinging back. And we might see more of just a ladder T-Con split towards A here now, as they have plenty more players committing to it. And they're just going to have the 2 guys at box holes make some noise before they eventually fall back and dive down the ladder room. Tildy towards the inside, though, is actually going to draw rotation. Actually, it's not just a straight fallback towards ladder. They are going to have one guy going to fake this. It'll be Destiny, kind of moving on his own. The second player does end up moving away, but it was enough to draw rotations. Only for that little bit of amount of time, though. We didn't even see an execute from Immortals while Destiny was doing all of this. So now the CTs have rotated back in. JDM immediately impacts down the ladder for a second, as once again the hit is getting pretty much destroyed by Liquid, and more so by JDM, as it's down to Steel now. And JDM is even going to get that kill. A casual little 4K for him, as now that's going to break Immortals' economy.
Welcome to Lounge Nation, baby. JDM's not too worried about it. His back is comfortable, he is supported, and his op is on point. Falling off the ladder here, not too worried about the hit penalty of recoil with AWP. Takes 1 big bullet to tear these bodies in half, and it's going to be 3-2 now, as Liquid's in the upswing of things.
So now we have Immortals splitting up again, sending 4 players to the box hole since they're on an eco here. 1 guy is going to be tossing a couple nades in, or well, 1 nade out from T-Con. And they did try to dive down instead of going to box holes into ladder, but the CTs have plenty of utility themselves. They're going to double molly it after the first one fades. Steel waltzes in and unfortunately dies very quickly. Even a smoke coming out to ladder too. Great spray control coming out from Nitro, and a leech helping out with that too, as pretty much everybody gets a piece of the pie that time. And we do see Liquid now tying it up at 3-3.
Slightly burnt pie, though, huh?
Yeah.
A little bit touched of the
Little
molly.
crispy.
Steel must have not heard the call that they mollied off ladder because he flashed over mid right away, which would probably have been helpful for when those molly clear. Regardless, back in the action, gun round 3-3. Pistol round might as well have not even happened. But Liquid so far doing a better job on them.
There you see Steel moving in. He's able to knock out Stan. JDM, however, trades that just after Steel gets the kill, so it's not going to mean much at this point with Steel finding that quick trade. All the back control gone. Destiny has this very forward position on Ivy, but the CTs, I think, are aware of it. And now Twist taking a big risk, but it pays off there. He's able to move in, take out Destiny. Once again, though, a very quick trade coming from the Immortals side of things. They're able to keep it even into a 3v3, and Elige put into a bit of a rough spot. Knows that a ladder push could be coming out soon with the Ivy players executing, so he falls away to the bomb train. Gets himself into a safer position and will buy more time for JDM to rotate from the inner site. Push comes to shove, though. Bolts will actually be able to find Elige, working his way out from ladder room there. So takes him down at range. Nitro, however, swinging back over towards T-Con. He'll find Bolts, so the trades continue to move, but Nitro gets put into a bad position. And that's where Horvey, along with ZQK, are going to be able to strike. Now, he should have handed off the intel that they're both playing together and are going to move up pretty quickly here. In fact, JDM sees one of them, but upon taking the timing shot there, does not find a connection. That pretty much is the end of this clutch attempt. He'll have to sit back, hope someone get over aggressive, and then he can punish that, reigniting the possibility for a win here, but ultimately, him giving himself away here too early might have sealed the deal for Immortals.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough situation, as if he gets spotted, they then could just double peek him, and it's almost impossible at that point unless he catches the lineup to win this round. So he's going to try to look for one kill, but I'm thinking at this point he is thinking of trying to save. So
maybe not.
No, he's not.
Oh, he misses the quick flick, though, so that'll be ZQK knocking him out, and the op going down to the ground. No kills to show for it, unfortunately, under that 1v2, so it's just another round for the Immortals. They keep hold of their lead, but Liquid have a whole load of money, so it's going to be at least this one round, maybe two, before we see Liquid themselves going down to an eco.
Yeah, I guess JDM was comfortable losing that money with their situation. They will have a double up again, and back to normal for Liquid here.
Yeah, things will split up across the map now with Team Liquid pretty much playing 4 outside and 1 inner, the usual setup. And they're very aggressively playing that outside setup there too. You've got both JDM and Nitro trying to play close up to the trains. And even a third one now moving forward too. Elige is going to be over here by E-Box, and they just have Twist solo watching towards Ivy. That's been the status quo for most of this half so far. It's not too surprising to see that. However, Destiny just getting completely overwhelmed and shot through a smoke. Not a whole lot he can do to resist in that situation.
I like the idea for him to smoke it out and stop the push, but Nitro smartly just kind of steps in, knows that he has to be there from where he threw the smoke, sprays on through, and at the least was going to do some damage there, but ends up finding the kill. And now we're in a 5v3.5 as Steel is down to 23 HP.
So Immortals will now end up sneaking themselves back into T-Con here. Horvey even finds a first entry kill here, but Twist is no longer alone at Ivy. He's gotten some additional support, quite a bit of it actually. Horvey committing so close to killing Elige. She brings him down to just a single health point. ZQK is now going to start impacting too as he works his way out from T-Con, knocks out the CT side opper. Bolts will continue to push forward here too, so Immortals are not out of this round just yet. They've been struggling to get control on the outer site, but they may have finally found their footing here from this this final T-Con push. But they only have 25 seconds left to plant, and Liquid aren't giving them anything at all. Liquid are staying as still as statues.
Elige is actually in a good position to take out the bomb planter here if he peeks this right. But Bolt's planning smartly on the very tip of the train, so he's not able to be isolated from either side. And now Immortals are just going to kind of wait for sound to cue their peaks here.
And this leaves Elige to swing out very quickly. ZQK will find Nitro, but Elige sneaks back up, gets the 1 kill, but at 1 HP. It's very easy for them to trade that. Now it's all on Stan, and he'll try to make an aggressive play, but Bolts will manage that. Immortals keeping control. Now we'll go up 5-3 here against Team Liquid and put them into a bit of an awkward situation. So probably going to see just a half buy for some and a very low investment for others here on this round for Team Liquid.
Keep thinking ZQK is Zach, and I said, hey, great play by the coach there. Well,
1 letter off.
1 letter off, and 5-3 for Voice Immortals. 2-round deficit here, as again, I could do basic math, and I'm really proud of myself. And it's not a bad T-side start for them, you know? Getting 5 rounds is sometimes what you hope for overall. But Immortals was able to get off to a good start here.
Yeah, and so now Destiny, okay, he's actually not going to get a kill on Liege. I thought he would have had him out for long enough there, but Liege slinks away, gets himself outside to the site.
Slinks, is that a word?
I think it is, yeah.
Well, I need to up my vocabulary game, Blue. And Liquid needs to up their game here as they're just getting isolated 1 by 1 on the anti-eco round. Tough for them to get more kills, but Twist again with the deagle. Putting in some work there, getting another plus 300 on the board for himself. But Immortal is not going to have any problems closing that one out.
Let me see that last kill moving in there very quickly. Steel takes out JDM, so there you have it. After that save, the Liquid should be good to rebuy, and we're going to see that roll in very, very quickly here. They're back up to full strength, including the op on JDM, and he should have utility behind this and everything, so they are going to be armed to the teeth this time. And Immortals will have another fight in front of them. Immortals not actually really building up a lot of economy just yet here, too, so they're still in a bit of a delicate position themselves. They do need to be cautious to lose not too many rounds in a row here, as Liquid can very quickly break them and try to work for that comeback again if they are able to win more than 1 gun round in a row here.
Immortals again going into 3-1-1, kind of early Ivy creep. Maybe that's because they've seen Liquid pressure early T mid. So I wouldn't be surprised if Liquid sees a resmoke here, or sorry, if Immortals sees a resmoke here, they might back off.
Fortunate for Twist as he ends up just jumping right up on top of a grenade that's thrown at him. The molly that was very well placed. Torby actually ends up in it way longer than he needed to be. So he's going to be down at 20 HP after falling back on the outside.
Immortals actually going to have the opportunity to walk up here with 3. This could be dangerous though, as Liquid has 4 outside, and Liege now takes the ladder guy, so it's going to allow them to focus their attention on these guys coming out of Ivy. And Twist is going to be able to do some initial damage here, even though he's only at 50 HP. Easily should be able to take down 1 with his teammate above him on the train, taking a distraction for him. Not sure worried about the backside.
Just continuing to spam into it here, and the T's look for options to get around it, but not going to happen. The entire Ivy play gets shut down, and Nitro with a quick 180 swing to find bolts at the end of it too. Very clean round from Liquid. That's exactly what they needed to get their footing back, and they'll be able to find that 4th round.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like, I don't know if I like the keeping 3 Ivy there, but I guess once, I don't know if they had teammate there. So yeah, I don't know if I like that from Immortals, but to each their own. They thought they could get up Ivy and trade positively, so score is now 6-4, and Immortals is probably going to lose this round as well.
Molly goes down as Immortals do try to take that quick ladder room control. Actually goes to the backside, so Steel is still okay to hold his position, and Destiny can slowly go for his lurk too. JDM already moving out Ivy that have cleared this will allow for these Liquid players to stay fully focused on the task ahead of them in front. But ZQK actually gets the first kill, and that's going to add a little bit of a chink in the armor, and now another one will be found too with Steel knocking out a Liege. It's only Twist here to defend the inner bomb site. JDM will move back to help out with this a bit, and now they're trading kills in the way that they needed to. It's a good thing they do get back under control quickly, as that was about to go out of control. If they let it go for too much longer, in fact, it still might happen. Bolts getting another kill onto Stan, looking for the one of the final ones, and he gets it too. 5 bullets remaining. Twist at 50 HP, but no, Twist will hold on, taking out Bolts and just barely winning the round for Liquid.
That was my whole plan there. I was kind of confidently stating that it'd be the easy round to Liquid, just so you, the viewers, had a little bit more tension when it got close. Of course, I know everything, so knew that would still happen. Either way, 5v5 here now, again with the guns, and we're looking for a good chance for Immortals to get that lead again. Bolts, though, getting a little ambitious early in the round, taking some tags from a rifle, and then the Molly's going to put him down. But Destiny immediately evening things back up. Was that down ladder? I can't exactly tell. Looks like it might have been.
Thankfully, the kill is traded pretty quickly on the Molly there, so no harm, no foul just yet. But Stan tries to get aggressive at ramp again, and while he does knock off half the HP from Steel, no kill to be found. JDM also missing this quick flank that he tries, or this quick swing that he tries to go for into the site. So he'll have to smoke that off if he wants any kind of control. The T's actually don't move really far forward here. They just kind of go up sidewalk. They don't take train lane control or anything like that. They're going to try to do it now, but this is when JDM has already established some presence. And they can very much tell That one player cross back over there towards Tanker. Sealed out now, pushing up the side lanes. Is going to be able to get this first kill. Elish
Oh, no.
just destroyed by Horvey, and that also saves his teammate's life. Twist left alone here now, stuck at the back of the site. Not even really a whole lot of options being presented to retreat here, so it's looking good for the Immortals to now pick up a 7th round. And there you go. ZQK will be the one to finalize it with the last kill.
Well, another good round by Immortals. Here we're going to need to keep hammering home that pressure. Hopefully taking home this anti-eco round, which looks to be is going to be a buy, actually, from Liquid. Assuming that they're going to double save, maybe for an op. They say, screw that. It's either double save for the op or double rifle buy. So they're going to get a couple buys here. And one thing that's cool about Liquid is I feel like no matter the score, Liquid's the type of team who kind of just plays their game. And that's one of their main strengths here. So even if they don't have a great TD side, I'm excited for T side. But if things like that happen, it does not matter how sound your game is. You can't run to a flame, boys.
No, you cannot. So two quick kills coming out for the Immortals right at the beginning of the round. Liquid are trying to play aggressively forward here on the other site too, in A, towards like E-Box and whatnot, and they have Twist holding in a rotation position. But even JDM as well, trying to hold right at the bottom of ramp. And Immortals, after they get those 2 kills, really just kind of slowing it down to minimum speed here, so that they can avoid any mistakes that may end up happening. And Stan actually spotting Destiny, so he knows he's there, but he overpeaks, just trying to throw the molly right down onto the ground. And that's going to give him the kill against Destiny. Twist also picks up bolts, too, by hiding inside of the ladder room. So they're able to knock both of those players out and re-even the fight down to a 3v3. Steel even thinking about re-peeking that now, which is going to be very dangerous considering the circumstances.
JDM here. Back at Ivy, I think, depending on the info he got her there, I'd like to see this Ivy clear. He is going to do it. Oh. They must have the read, because he is heading towards inner, and so is Immortals.
And Immortals are going to rotate down very quickly here towards inner, since time is getting incredibly low. Stanislaw has this flank lined up, though, and he is going to instantly move in to take down Steel, looking for more at the ramp, but the quick initiation allows for ZQK to trade it back. ZQK now goes down, though, so it is on Horvey in a 1v2. He's been alerted to both of the players' positions, and they do line up to a certain degree. Horvey misses that chance to multi-frag, though, and now upon going up for the 3rd time, Twist will take him down, securing another one for Team Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid staying true to what I just said there. Always kind of have, I don't know, they just seem to have that play style in the group of players. Nitro, Elish, Stanislaw, namely, the guys who seem to have poise in these big games. Twist joining that group as well as JDM. So, yeah, I don't know. I just think even if Liquid were to stop now, I still think they have a chance to have a 10-round T-half. So, exciting games ahead. Especially as a match stays within a run-round deficit.
Yeah, it looks like it might be staying that way too, with the rounds continuing to go kind of back and forth here. Both teams on very iffy buys right now. As Liquid are a little bit better off, they at least get full rifles, but Immortals do have to put Horvey down on the Deagle, bolts onto a FAMAS, or excuse me, not FAMAS, Galil, but as we can see, the utility for them across the board is just going to be a little bit lower too, so they don't have as much to initiate with, but they do still have enough to definitely make a take on one of these 2 sites here. Stan getting aggressive once again with his push up through ramp. Now he's going to try to move forward, maybe to challenge the ladder players. Does he go all the way? Bolts is waiting for him around the corner there. But he's patient enough to just sit at the bottom and let Immortals be the one to initiate upon him. They will do that. Bolts moving in. Oh, and even wins the fight against Stan, who was very much ready to take that battle, but still did not end up coming out on top. So early advantage to the Immortals, and I believe they're going to head in towards inner here now to take control, but no utility used or anything, so that's just open season for JDM right there. He knocks out Steel very easily, and if ZQK tries to challenge him, he may suffer from the very same fate. Destiny's actually going to be the one that moves out, but it's just as JDM is changing position, so no risk to his life just yet there. Immortals just go in, quickly plant the bomb, and it looks like most of them are actually trying to back out here and get very close to ramp to keep that option alive if needed. They don't take good site control, so that is going to let Liquid move forward without having to worry about too much of a presence being established by the Immortals. Nitro, in fact, getting all the way up to the bomb trade, spamming in while blind, gets the kill, but does not have the vision to react and quickly hit the 2nd kill onto ZQK. What can happen, though, is Elish can push forward, knocking out ZQK. Nades from the top side on Bolts will take out Elish, and now in the 2v2, JDM spots the player at ramp. They have not seen Bolts yet, though, so he's going to walk in at perfect timing just when their back is turned, and Horvey at ramp wins the final 1v1 against Twists.
I was waiting for that nade to come in from Bolts. I saw the HE on him. He strategically used that and waited for the team to be close on the bomb train. He was low HP and used his positioning to get a nice HE off and secure another round for Immortals here. Liquid still, I don't see him making too many big glaring mistakes on the Liquid front. You know, Stanislaus seems to be getting a little testy. Brown Hall, and last round he admittedly probably should have had that kill. Bolts with the great preem takes him down on the entry. So either way, both teams trying to stand tall here and hold their ground. And as I say that, Nitro running in, not scared of the result from last round, getting 2 MP9 drive-bys.
Just no fear at all right there. And Twist even helping out his teammate a little bit here. JDM doesn't even need to fully peek. It's just Twist with a quick deagle shot to take down Horvey. So Ivy's clear. T-Con's been clear. They've dropped the bomb for a round where they barely are able to invest anything at all. Liquid are doing quite well for themselves. And now it's just a matter of eliminating, well, one final player as JDM even walks out catching bolts. So it's just Steel with ladder control. And I think Twist even looking towards that as an inkling that he might be hiding out in there.
Well, beginning of the round there was pretty awesome to see Nitro make that push. And Twist gonna twist off the steal of bolts there.
As we do see Immortals take the lead 8-7, but it's a very close map. So stick with us to see who will come out on top right after this break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
And we are back once again, ladies and gentlemen, here in our third match of the evening here. We have Team Liquid taking on the Immortals, of course, and it's pretty much a dead heat right now. We do see the teams trading rounds back and forth throughout the entire course of the first half with no one really ever establishing a massive lead over the other.
I agree. I think the whole theme of this game is both teams just kind of bringing their style. I didn't see too much countering. I mean, you did see like Liquid trying to pressure T mid, and Immortals' kind of answer was three creep Ivy. Didn't exactly work out for them, but most of the rounds didn't exactly work out like I thought they would in terms of the order of kills and the order of events. So, gonna have an interesting second half here as the deficit stayed within 1 all the way to the very end of the T side there for Immortals.
Yeah, pretty much. And as you can see there at the bottom left, it's still at 1 net round deficit here. It's still in the favor of the Immortals at an 8-7 scoreline. So the pistol round, very important, as it is going to let one of these teams get out in front at the start of the half for Immortals, and it'll solidify the lead just a little bit more here. But I believe we are jumping into it. So let's see who indeed can take that lead as we go into the second half pistol.
As it starts, we're thankful that all of our PCs are running on Intel. Enough processing power to display the Betway odds, which are 1.5 for Liquid to 2.5 for Immortals. Those are ratios, of course. And now we see Liquid...
well, losing a player.
Losing a player pretty early. Steel nailing Stanislaus' head into the ground there. It's a 5 versus 4. And Elige is looking to entry onto Bolts, as they're not going to probably stop as they get spotted. But they are going to slow it down.
Slowing it down to a pretty big degree here, too. But Bolts does not want anything to do with his. ZQK is actually going to take a brunt of the action. Bolts looking for some headshots here. Can only get 1, though, before ending up going down to JDM. And now that still leaves Immortals with a bit of a man advantage because they got that earlier kill onto Stan. But still, Liquid with control, and now they can look to get themselves into some good positions to frag out. Not going to happen for JDM, though. He gets destroyed by Destiny, and then he even swings around to find Nitro, too, leaving only Twist alive. And they even have the kit on ZQK, so plenty of bonus time. This Molly goes right into a smoke, so won't find impact at all, and ZQK can easily just ninja that from inside the smoke. And there you go. Easy pistol for the Immortals, it seems, on that retake there. Wow, they even moved to take on Twist, too.
The old, okay, we're going to see. There's Steel nailing Stanislaw, and that's not a terrible peek by Stanislaw, because generally, I don't know, generally if people push ladder, you can kind of just see them running and get away on a pistol round, but not in this case. And Immortals adding to the deficit here.
Continuing to grow their lead, and they're going to look to do it again, since Liquid did get the plant, but unfortunately did not get the win, so we're not going to see too aggressive of a buy as they're looking for the third round here. They are also looking for another very quick inner hit as they want that plant, so they're going to overwhelm Bolts, or at least attempt to. He's not going to be overwhelmed, however. It's actually a Liege that gets a kill onto ZQK rotating in, but Bolts will close out and get a very, very quick almost ace. I think he ends up with a 4K, actually. Steel ends up getting one of those kills towards the end.
Bolts reminds me a lot of Stewie with the way he plays in. A lot of times spotting for info and then using his Molotov just at the right time. It sounds pretty straightforward, but it is an art, you know, when to use your utility and when to hold off. So he's going to hold on to that ump because his confidence with his utility. And we're going to see the first gun round here at 10-7.
Yeah, so with all their players being split up here, Liquid will basically go, it's interesting because we are going to see them splitting up normally, but it's going to be heavy 3 players towards the ladder room instead of just the usual 2 guys heading back here, and it includes the bomb as well. So they are keeping the options open for either site to be the execution point, but with the bomb inside of here, they might actually try to fake with nades going outside and then send these players towards inner to try for that site. Once again, now with actual gunpowder, of course, and actually decent nades and whatnot coming in here too. They might be able to make something happen yet. And there we go. Yeah, the outside players through nades. Now they're going to route through the tunnels here, up on top, and work their way over towards box halls to get ready to execute.
Immortals with the proper read here as they have 2 players in there. That's going to help Bolts a lot as he's only on an ump. After he gets one, it's going to be a tall order. The only way he probably gets 2 here is if ZQK provides a little bit of help via the form of nades or at least some tagging fire. ZQK playing the spot I talked about Mixwell using last game. Well, not exactly, but if he slides to his left, he's in a good position to stop this inner pop. If Liquid throws one flash, though, could help them out, and it will begin.
Twist will move down, knocking out ZQK. Nitro also follows that through with a very fast entry onto Bolts, and the carnage continues with now Seal getting eliminated back by Z2. That's pretty much it, the end of the round right there. There is no way Immortals are coming back from that. Wow, even Horvey holding is still going to get taken out by Nitro, who has to take all the time to whip out his gun and everything there. So, a big slip up by Horvey, and now just leaves Destiny alone, holding his own, trying to save the M4.
Yeah, not a big fan of that angle that was being held by ZQK, not because he can't get a kill there, but mainly because if you're expecting them to scrim out upper inner anyways, I use the term scrim in North America. It's a common term for people saying you're just going to go out with no nades, right? So it's a dry entrance from Liquid out upper. If you have an op there, that hold gets you a couple kills, but if without the op, you're hoping that they don't still flash, basically, because otherwise you fall. Whereas if you're on the wood of the cloud, just to the left of ZQK, he would have been able to dodge a flash, swing out again, and get a kill dropping. You know, everyone has a reason for the spots they play, though. Just my 2 cents. And Liquid staying kind of confident, heading straight towards an inside bomb site, and there's going to be nobody there.
ZQK swinging back around the other way is going to be able to find JDM, so that leaves Immortals still in an even bout with a 4v4 against them, but unfortunately their gambles stack out towards A here is still going to bite them back as Liquid were able to essentially waltz right in, taking down Destiny, and with full control of the B site now exercised, Immortals on this eco are not going to be able to do much else. They do have to fall back, save, and that will let Liquid get their 9th round rolling here, and only 1 more away from being able to tie this back up. After the gun round, back on round 3, Liquid very quickly taking shape here and looking to take back the lead, too, from the Immortals.
I think we need like a nice anti-eco round elevator music type thing that like
the waiting music.
Yeah, and it gets unanimous in all streams.
It's a saving music. Yeah.
Well, not as boring as we thought, as ZQK does take down a kill with what looks like a SMG. I'm just kidding, that's a CZ. Might as well be called the SMG though, huh, Blue?
Yeah, it would seem so, with how often we see it bought too. But now, full reinvestment rolling in for the Immortals, including that scavenged op from the last round, which is going to allow Bolts to buy full utility this time, instead of just having to work with just the gun. You can see Destiny and Harvey basically having that result there. They do have smokes, but they're unable to get anything else rolling. Liquid also very quickly smoking outside and trying to get themselves set up for an execute here. They'll roll out. But the bomb behind, so they're going to be a little bit careful. I love that little quick boost up that they do, though. Elige up on top is able to find Horvey. And goodbye to any control over Ivy that Immortals would now try to exercise here, as those other two players from the T side can waltz right in. Great control from Liquid as they have the entire train yard under their control. They just need to move up and get the bomb train. And they've got a man advantage to play off of, so plenty of mistakes Liquid can make here as they move in, but they're able to afford to make them, as Immortals are fighting from the backside now.
Liquid just going to kind of compress onto the bomb train here as Immortals is forced to fall back. Might see a save here. Not 100% positive. Nope, they're still going to go for it. I think if they could find a kill here, no reason not to. Steel's obviously going to have to check his close right here pretty quick. Waiting for his team to be ready. And here we go.
Steel moving out. He's going to be able to find Stanislaw first off. So could be getting to the retake here, but the problem is with it being planned on the other side, it's going to be very difficult to take out some of these other players. And they're 1-for-1 trade, which is actually not too bad for the Immortals here. They do need to move quicker. Steel finding the Opera from the T side, but is going to get taken down by him. Now leaving Bolts alone, just guessing at where that last T could be hiding at. He's not going to be able to find him. So again, we'll back away, saving the AK and giving Team Liquid their 10th round to tie us up.
Liquid, great job of getting hell control outside. A lot of times when you're taking outside, it can be divided into two ways, conceptually at least, right? You can be taking the bomb train side of outside or the hell side of outside. And it's a lot of times a good first step to take what we call hell, which is the cove, obviously right here next to the green train. Having control of that is awesome because as your team works Ivy, you're able to kind of coordinate a flash peek on the back bomb and progress. If there's a CT still alive there, even if the CTs are down numbers, they kind of have a chance there to win because that guy is in a good choke point to dance between the Ivy and mid guys. So, good job, Liquid, to take Ivy and not be in a rush to get to the bomb train.
Destiny is actually going to get hit early on here, too, by the off, I believe, as they move up. But it's through the train, so it doesn't knock him out entirely. Bolt's even holding with that AK. Steel getting one, too. The first kill from Liquid actually comes through a Molotov, but Stan threw down, be able to take down Steel. But with that AK up at the train, Twist decides to directly challenge it. And another player directly challenges it as well. Bolts saving Immortals single-handedly here. And more importantly, bringing them down to just one player. It's all on JDM, but Bolts will continue to strike as he ends up with a massive 4K, letting them keep their lead against Team Liquid.
Well. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, ladies and gentlemen, as Bolts saving the one gun proves to be a smart decision as they get back around. And one where Liquid thought it was going to be easy. They used a lot of utility, so.
Bolts.
Immortals excited.
Yeah, just Bolts ripping heads off here. Doing a very nice job at that, too. Was brought down very low at the end, but was still able to win the battle against JDM due to him missing the op shot. So good close out from them, and now Liquid, after losing a round like that, are going to take a very much needed pause. They've lost the lead again, and we are getting higher up in the numbers here, so this is getting a little bit dangerous, especially if they let their economy slip. Which may have
What are they saying right now?
I'm not entirely sure. I don't have any experience to draw on. This would be...
I figured you were in their team speak.
No, that'd be cool, though, wouldn't it? If I had a...
little listen in for the online.
My little right ear has like their comms just really low or something like that.
Maybe one day we'll get permission. Either way, about to go live again, and you can't help but think that was more of a reset / momentum killer for the Immortals guys after they win. We know the Brazilians to get excited when they win rounds they shouldn't. What better way to stop that than a little bit of a momentum breaker with the form of a pause. But Liquid not wasting any time. They immediately get ladder control, and it looks like the flash is going to come over from Twists when the team calls for it, and they're going to do what we call the ladder pop. Right when they're ready, you'll see Twist over there by the blue end. Flash is about to come over to mid, and they will explode, I think.
Nitro still checking outside here before they go for it, and Twist as well, making sure they don't push T-Con. They have two players securing that. Nitro continuing to challenge this, and actually the Molly does most of the work. However, look at all the damage Steel traded out there. Brings Nitro down to 41, and Elige, too, down at 21. However, look at this shift in the dynamic now coming out from Team Liquid. They are going to move quite a few of their players towards the inner box halls, including the bomb. They might be looking to that option again here, too, considering how how well most of their entries have worked out when they've attempted this in the past.
Mid-game situation here. I mean, Liquid's kind of doing what I expected. They must have called off the ladder pop due to maybe either the Ivy smoke or the fact that they knew the guy was E-box and they can just get a kill. No reason to force things when you get new info. But now the bomb train smoke's coming out, which is a very safe bet in these man advantage numbers. But one might have missed mid-bomb. Not 100% positive, but Destiny in a great position to shoot a couple enemies in the side. Takes down one. He still hears the guy above ladder. He's between a rock and a hard place now as a flash comes down ladder, and he's dancing, but not a very good dance at that. And it's a 4 versus 3 now for Liquid, who has the advantage. They just need to fall back into safe positions and force Immortals to try to prod their way forward in the outside bomb yard.
That's exactly what they're going to do. Bolt's trying to take more of these long-range battles, but this time he's not going to win a single one. Goes down to Stan. ZQK looking for the trade, but nothing being presented to him at this point. As Liquid just sit nice and steady, although they did just give away Stan's position right there, but that was already realized. That's not too big of a tell. ZQK not even looking like he's going to try for this, though. Already looking for a route out of the site, as most of the time is now gone. And obviously, we'll be seeing the same thing from Horvey, who has evacuated deeper into B and will probably just hide in that little hallway next to CT spawn.
I like to play there from Liquid, knowing that they had kind of the close outside of the yard clear. They didn't have ladder, which could have actually posed a big problem to them. Normally, you won't do a strat like that late unless, you know, you have control of something like ladder or mid. But Destiny here gets a kill, but getting a little outplayed here. Now, it is a tough thing to do because the sound seems to have messed with him a bit. Because I think he wanted to recommit to the second frag on Evox, but sound combined with a hectic situation caused him not to make the play he probably wanted to. And it's 11 all. Ooh.
Did he spot him?
Did he spot him? I don't know. It was a small head there. Nitro using the small head cheat. Remember those back in NFL Blitz, the big head cheat? He's got the opposite going there. Donkey Kong mode here as Liquid in a normal 2-on-2 situation, taking the delayed brown hall control. For all those out there who maybe are having a tough time playing the map Train, the basic concept you guys should understand is why it's important to take brown hall control. If you don't at least cross that lower ramp, in which they just did, see now Elige is able to fall back, but that initial peak right there is big because that's where the B bomb site player rather can get info. Now it's a 5 versus 5, and they at least have the awareness. See on number 4 there on the radar, he's aware that the T's have brown hall control, so number 5 there is there to help him. If they didn't do that, 5 was able to, as in ZQK, stay outside and focus on the hit. Now that Liquid has spread the defense a little bit, now the next phase of the strat comes in. They have 4 smokes remaining, and this is where things get interesting. Twist aware that they can have mid control, may go for this challenge here with Elige ready to come from the side, but let's see if they have a pop flash or something ready. If they don't, I don't foresee him going for this peak without it. He is going to just chill, but he is going for the peak. Ill-advised, as I would think, because they could have been a teammate. Little young Twist there.
It's bomb down, too.
Bomb down. Twist has a lot of skill, but maybe a little bit hasty on that decision now. It's a 3 versus 5. It slowly falls apart for them.
Way too long to actually line up the execute here, and now they're just getting torn to shreds. Elige actually did make it out onto the site, but without the bomb, there's nothing he can really do besides just waiting down the time, and the inevitable will eventually happen. Horvey takes him out from the Ivy tunnel, and that's another round for the Immortals, and another reset against Team Liquid, too.
He's a young player, but he's got a lot of skill. Twist is someone who actually, I think, doesn't make that many mistakes often. The thing that they have to remember when doing a strat, like default on Train, is that you're inherently giving up some ground, right? Unless you have a teammate in team mid. So it's very important to be taking mental note of where they could be. And, you know, if he's going to walk team mid there alone, I don't see him any reason to try to do that unless there's some kind of bait and switch where they think maybe the CT is in ladder and they have that info. And then maybe the Ivy guys walk up as he does that. But it didn't seem like that was what was happening. And he got a little hasty, and it cost him the round.
Yeah, so now smokes will be deployed to try and hold back this bit of a quick play from Team Liquid. But I think they're going to go for it anyway. The smoke is thrown just a little bit too far up, so they can hop onto that little left catwalk there and get themselves vision of what's beyond the smoke. Still waiting it out, though. They decide to do that instead, but it's Pond coming downstairs. Bolts is going to be here, gets a quick triple kill, looking for number 4, but actually it's going to be ZQK that'll probably pick it up, as, yeah, he finds JDM. Now, Liquid do succeed at the least in getting the bomb through here and finding the plant, but they're not going to get any kills. In fact, Bolts ends up with a 4K again, and Immortals will go up to 13-11. But with that extra plant, that should give Liquid enough money to full buy again here in the next round.
Bolts enjoying these eco frags. I think that's another round where you got an ace or 4 or something.
You got 4
3 here. Well, it doesn't hurt the dark category. That's for sure. But it's not necessarily that he asked for him. They just gave him to him.
Yeah.
You know? So, do you think CSGO should do that? What if they started having like an in-depth analysis tab so you can go over and you can click over and you can click on a player and it broke down kills versus opponent with like...
Well, we have that kind of. There's this menu here.
Does that tell you about what gun they
It's
have?
the graph is like not very like visually easy to read.
I've actually, that's something maybe worth looking into because I've never really tried to understand using this information.
Yeah, the graph is like very confusing to look at if you don't use it before, but you can get like a lot of info from it. It's just you have to be able to read the graph like quickly, which is not the easiest thing to do. So I think the way it looks right now is the lines without the dots, that's like the team average, I think. And the actual lines with dots, that's the player. That's whatever player you've clicked on the left side. I think is how it works.
Damage around there. So yeah, that was the anti-eco round right there. And then the next anti-eco round right there.
So you can see that. It's just...
Thank you, observers. And again, another slow default from Liquid. Immortals already playing 2 towards the inside bomb site. So again, Liquid's in a good position here to set something up. Hopefully this time they are aware. They're going to throw what looks like the bomb train smokes again. But please, boys, flash into teammate or something. Okay, now that the molly's there, you have no choice but to acknowledge that opponent is right there. I'm actually surprised. I think that's a bad molly from Immortals. Why? Oh, well, the time, 34 seconds left. Maybe not. Now the smoke's going to come in. Boom. All right. I take that back. Destiny here, creating his own destiny. Mouse 1 through the smoke, and Steel and Destiny. Ooh.
They traded, though.
Actually.
Stan unfortunately missing that swing, but they kept it even. Actually, they do better than keeping it even. They still have a man advantage here as they go into the site. They're going to be very pressed for time to get this plant. I don't think anyone can stop it, though. Bolts is not going to be able to get into a position in time in order to swing out and kill those players again. But what he can do is try to swing out ladder. That will not work, though. Elige takes down Bolts, so Liquid survived the storm, the molly storm, the smoke storm, and of course the 2 players holding inside of T-Con's storm. But the last storm that they have to get past is just going to be ZQK here. We'll attempt the 1v3. He's found 1 already. He still has to look for 2 more kills, and he does not have a whole load of time here. He does have the kit, but that's not really going to matter at this point. Essentially, he has to go right for the bomb. Can't even try to go for the kills, and JDM immediately takes him down as soon as he tries to toss that smoke on the ground.
That might be an interesting round for the analysts to break down. As late into the round, look at JDM forced to come through a smoke with 30 seconds left. Immortals taking teammate control, and I actually thought it was silly for a second that they used all their nades teammate, but they had such limited times that it was me not looking at all the information, and I thought that was going to be easy swipe for Immortals there in team mid, but JDM running through the smoke with the op, using it like a shotgun. And not being too scared to get close there, but still a lead for Immortals, 13-12, as they look to secure this round and not let their money fall too far away from them.
And they keep the game close, too, as it has been for pretty much the entire map so far. Liquid just going for a quick smoke outside, and they are able to go through, but the problem is you have Destiny hiding in the sandwich lane here, so they have to deal with him before they can go out and plant the bomb. They've used most of the smoke timer now, so they actually might have to fully clear the site. Steel pushes in the smoke, and exactly perfect timing there. Catches Stan with a nade out. If he gets that trade, he's got to be careful, though, because now he's in a bit of a hot spot here, hiding out behind the sandwich train. 1-for-1 trade between both of the operas, actually. ZQK knocking out Nitro, and JDM taking down Horvey. We're staying close here. Neither team getting a massive advantage, but with Liquid having the plant, the pressure is on for the Immortals here. Steel very heavily looking for the kill onto the player over here at T-Con. And Long will force him forward, but Steel has other priorities now. He's going to walk right up, finds Twist, and transition it to find Elige. Now they just know that JDM's sitting over here at the Speedway, and they'll close him out too. Bolts finds that last kill, and that's going to be the end of it. Immortals will push forward up to 14 rounds.
Wow, a couple big timing moments. First, the guy to get the so Liquid pause. First to get that kill. What was it? Speedway? What was the first kill that went down?
In the 3v3 or
in the 5v5?
I think the first kill they got was the player holding in sandwich.
Yeah. And then after that, Steel coming through the smoke and getting a kill could have went either way. My general rule of thumb is, if you plant the bomb outside as a T and you have an equal amount of players alive, you're actually at a disadvantage because you normally just have to fall back. So Liquid did have the advantage going to the plant, and then it evened out with that kill from Steel. So in my mind, that's immediately CT-sided, mainly because you know the Ts have to fall back and hide, which is how Immortals ended up winning the round. The Ts were forced to fall back and hide behind the trains. Even though it's a 3 versus 3, it's generally hard to win those as a T because the only way you win them is if your opera's on point, like back 6 or something. JDM got Molotov'd off, and the other 2 got crept up on. Still was very possible if Stanislaw killed Steel when he was walking above Twist there at E-Box, but you know, Twist was able to, or Steel was able to take both of them down. And good play by the Brazilians to bring the score to 14-12.
So now Team Liquid get put onto a very unfortunate bye here for one of the few rounds that they have left to resist Immortals from pushing up the scoreline towards 16 here. Only one AK sitting on Nitro, and everyone else just on, well, either default pistols or P250s here. And already one player dead trying to go in for quick ladder control. That has failed ultimately. And now they're going to try to quickly go down ramp here. Bolts will molly it, preventing these players from immediately swinging on him. He's going to get flanked in a second, though, so he's got to be careful. But he's smart about this. He actually backs up into a position where he can better fight off these guys. Will still go down just because of the position that he's at. But in the process, drop the bomb, so he's going to waste more time for Liquid here. They will still get the plant, but in the meantime, with everyone from Immortals rotating and looking to very quickly retake this site as soon as that plant goes down, they found one, just 2 more players to eliminate. Nitro getting tagged upon trying to cross. Destiny actually getting blinded, but he backs away just out of Nitro's point of view, so barely escaping death right there. Nitro just desperately trying to hold and utilize his smoke, and he actually walks right past his opponents here. They haven't found him just yet. He's going to be able to walk in instantly. One taps one, gets the second. 2 more to go, though, and they're behind his smoke, defusing it, but he just has to hold this and hope Nitro can't get to him in time. He will defuse it. So close for Nitro, but no cigar this time, as he is going to lose in the defuse war there. Immortals will pull it off. They go up to 15 rounds, and just one more will give them the map.
Wow, look at this as he gets the flank almost, and he actually, I don't think you realize he couldn't see the leg, I think, of, well, he couldn't see him, but the leg of the CT player was, I think, sticking out a little. So if he was aware, he could have shot the edge. But I don't know if he even had enough ammo to do that. And now we're at match point for Immortals.
And full buy for Liquid, at least. They do have a full capacitor. In fact, Immortals actually looking a little bit worse for wear there because these rounds have been so close. They have Horvey down onto an ump, and they really don't have a whole lot of utility, just essentially smokes. And I think Bolts is the only one with a molly. So if Liquid are able to bait out this utility very early on here, then they might actually have a pretty good chance of shutting down this round and breaking their economy. But are going to very quickly look for an outer execute, but obviously this flank from Steel is going to be very, very important. Stan does catch that first entry, and Steel's been loud too, but JDM apparently has not realized it. He's still holding. His entire team is melting before him. He needs to execute soon here. He's going in for as much intel as possible. JDM even looks right at him, but he still gets the double kill. The problem is now he's alone. He's going to have to ace to close this one out. It's in a 1v3. He's already got 1 player low, and there's the kill on that player. He'll now fall back to E-Box, giving him the time to reload. 3 kills. They've all been headshots, but he's going to need the full-on ace if he wants to clutch this. There's no way that bomb is going to be ninjable. He walks up looking for Twist. He'll find him there. 1 more to go as well against Nitro. The smoke gives him a little bit of room to breathe here to get closer to the bomb. Thinks it's on the ground, actually, but now going out. No, Nitro will shut it down and just barely keeps Liquid in the game.
Well, the frickin' push right away, all the way through Brown Hall's. Yes, Trace, frickin'. The big flank there all the way through Brown Hall. Look at this. This is perfect. I like the way he uses the guy in front of him to line up another opponent. JDM almost turns around and gets the no-scopes. Shoves his barrel right down his barrel.
So.
Could have taken that somewhere else, right? 15-13 here.
Immortals
just hanging on here.
Immortals are going to call for a full save on this round, as I think they're just going to look to take it all the way to round 30 and try to clutch it out there, so at least they have a full buy for themselves. We will we'll see about their chances on this round, but with Liquid going for more than likely an inner execute, things will probably not look too good. Lige, though, walks into the trap, and that's in T-Con here. Still able to hold on, though. 1, 2, and now looking for number 3. Onto the triple shot for it, too, on the Glock there. He is slowly going to get pushed out. Destiny finds the kill. Won't obviously be a winnable round for the Immortals, but hey, they get to walk away with an AK at least, so they get that going for themselves.
I wonder what kind of skin Elige has. You think they could resell it?
On the AK?
What if when you killed someone, you just took ownership of their weapon temporarily?
That would be
just
interesting.
alt-tabbing and selling it.
It's a default skin, unfortunately. So
I like that. I was going pretty vanilla for a while. It started with the free Brax movement, and then it went into just vanilla for fun. And people would come in my stream all the time and be like, wow, this new with no skins. And then I would like go to my inventory and show them. And I'd be like, yeah, I have enough skins for all of us to use, actually. From my days in throwing matches, you know, I just used to collect a lot. Exclusively. 2-0 games. That's actually, is that like, now that I'm on the talent desk, is that like terrible to make a joke out of? And it's like, I'm on like the warning zone now on Reddit. And
No.
now there's going to be research done about my matches. Grace did prove earlier you could say anything, get away with it. Now I'm just trying to follow in the footsteps of the former greats.
So we go all the way to round 30 here in order to decide this matchup. 15-14 is the scoreline. And Liquid are the ones that do have to win this if they want to stay in the map. Immortals still looking to close out here after that full save. And I believe they are the ones that will take this last tactical pause before we close out for regulation here. One chance to win it here in the 30th round to make it 16-14. Otherwise, we got an OT to settle this. And scores will obviously be reset. It's going to be first team to 19 rounds to win there. Let's jump into it, though. Immortals, even with the saved guns and the full eco, besides those like 2 P250s in the previous round, the buy is still not necessarily amazing. Those 2 players with saved guns at least get full utility, and they're the only ones with kits. But for Steel and Bolts, they do get M4s. They have no utility, essentially, behind their buys. Bolts gets 1 smoke. And for ZQK, he doesn't even get the op. He's just going to be on a scout this round, so that they can add a little bit of extra utility to the equation here.
Well, very confident right now for Bolts to hold inside alone. Maybe they've just seen Liquid's being a methodical team, so they're just assuming, and correctly so, that Liquid would try to take map control before doing anything else. Immortals now aware that Liquid could be on either side of Ivy, so they're going to throw that smoke down and try to delay a little bit further the inevitable. And that's kind of the name of the game at this point in the round. A couple more smokes on Immortals. Generally, you're not really doing your fakes until about 45, unless you have some kind of other knowledge that something else might be happening. But Liquid trying to continue to just hold, see what utility Immortals throws. And set up. Looks like they're sending one back to inner, so I can't tell exactly what's going to happen yet. A back 6 smoke and a bomb train smokes.
Various smokes getting tossed around by either side here, really, but this is all just for Team Liquid to open up some room and hopefully draw rotates towards the outer side. It has worked to a certain degree, but Bolt's still in a good position to work this. He goes 1 for 1. And now we do see everyone else from the Immortals rotating back in for this retake. It'll be an even 4v4, but remember, Immortals are not working with the greatest weapons here. They still have a Galil and a Scout in their arsenal right now, so they're going to have to work with that anyway. As they go in, wow, JDM, a great flick onto Destiny in order to take him out of the picture here. He'll knock him out. The rest of these Ts, you'll remember, they didn't move forward to take any control, so Immortals have free reign over like 2/3 of the site here before they even have to fight anyone. That's the big advantage that they get. JDM now alone down here. Still trying to bait out the shot. He does, but he's going to get it right to the face. ZQK only tagging him. Horby to finish it off. Molly goes onto the ground. They will toss the smoke and just jump right onto it here to start diffusing it to the T's and realize that they're looking for him. It's just Horby left alive, but no! He's going to be able to ninja it to win the map. 16-14 with only 22 HP remaining and still 2 T's standing. Immortals will take map number 1 here. And well, they're going to be the victors on Train.
2 people alive there. Nitro looking like he seemingly has a good angle on the bomb train to just kind of mouse one, but Horby somehow holding it and staying alive. Oh, mine is blown blue.
Absolutely. And with your mind being blown, we're going to head away from us for a second. Actually, no, we'll take a look at the replay of it here. Let's take one more look at that.
Let's take a look. So right here, Nitro, does he get distracted by the guy lower pop? Yeah, no, not even. He's just slightly above. He's literally drawing around his silhouette. Oh, no.
And he continues to do that with the pistol. That's the best part, too. He's so close to hitting it, and he finally kills him at the end there, but he just could not get those bullets while he was still defusing. So close, but so far, as the Immortals do end up taking control. They're at the very end of regulation, and now we'll take it over to our analyst desk to break down this first map. Stana, take it away.
You know, I'm going to have to say you guys are eating your words on this one. I know that you guys were sleeping on Immortals. You guys had absolutely no faith that they were going to be able to put together any sort of string of rounds here. And it would appear as though they got to 16 rounds, which, what does that mean, guys?
If you say you guys one more time.
If you guys, what happens at 16 rounds? We know it's
a team wins or loses unless it goes to overtime. And it was Immortals that won, even though we said we thought Liquid would win. That's great. I like how you're basking in the fact of us being wrong. All right, let's move on to the analysis now, right, the Bears?
Well,
to the actual meat and potatoes of this broadcast. We're not going to talk about the win-loss. We're going to talk about how we got there, what rounds were important. We're going to break it down for you guys here, Trace.
Well, the thing is, they went 0-6 after KNG left, right? And that's just is how it is. But now when we look at it, there's 6 wins, 3 losses with, you know, that's in the last 9 maps alone. So really and truly, just how wrong were you guys?
About what?
About everything going into that matchup.
Well, not everything, but we were wrong on Team Liquid winning. I agreed to that. I can admit when I'm wrong.
I think it's more so that you guys are wrong, the community's wrong. In fact, I'm the only one that actually believes in the Immortals at this point, and that's what that's the vibe I'm feeling.
Well, maybe this should be your application to be their coach.
No. I'm not a coach, just a manager.
Okay.
But with that being said, guys, we had a good matchup here, a much closer one than you guys anticipated. But we're going to take a look at our first replay. That's right. We've got, I believe it's round 10? 12, excuse me, 12.
So in this round, as you see, Bolts gets picked off a little earlier.
I picked this round. This round's interesting because they do a 1-1-3. This is like a common, like, they call it like the Fnatic inner scrim strat, right? So what you do is you send one guy out mid early. Unfortunately, he got naded and mollied and died quick. But the key to this strat was Destiny getting the kill out ladder, right? Because what it does is it makes Stanislav feel a little bit of security pushing up inner, and Stan overstays his welcome behind that smoke, such to the point where it starts dissipating, and he gets picked by 3 Ts walking up on him, right? So the whole point of the strat is you make noise outside, you get a pick from ladder maybe as well, and then the inner guy feels a sense of security. They probably don't have 2 inner, and then you walk contact to 3 guys inner, and it works out with flying colors there for Immortals. And I know you guys thought that this strat probably wouldn't have succeeded, but I knew it was going to succeed right out the gate. So you guys can take it further now.
Let's talk about you guys just a little bit more in terms of just what it feels like to be wrong, as you are. And there's really no way to fabricate this. You guys are wrong. And unfortunately, we do have to move on, and you have to analyze this. You're basically eating your own words at this point.
My ego's right here, all right? So I don't care. I mean, you guys with the egos way up here, way in the sky, thinking you're the best since hot pancakes, you know? I don't care. I'm down here, okay? I'm way down here with my ego, so I can admit when I'm wrong.
You do it for the love of the game, Eric.
Can you admit when you're wrong? Can you guys admit that? I can't.
Uncle Sam wants you.
Well, that's part of it. I mean, if you've ever played a matchmaker or any sort of pickup game in Counter-Strike, you can never be wrong. That's one thing. Sure. You win, you talk trash, you lose, you talk trash. Either way, it's the same chart. And with that being said, we can move on now to our next replay as that one got a little out of hand. We're going to look now at round number 18. No op set up by the Immortals.
Yeah, so Immortals decides to go with a 5, well, I guess say 9 op because there's a ump in there. And Liquid going for a cheeky inside play, and they're going to keep it really simple. And lucky for them that there was no op top ramp from ZKQ, because if he did have an op, I think this round would have gotten a lot different, because Bolts is pushed up on top of Pop Dog, and ZKQ is way in the back. So I don't know what kind of setup they're trying to work with, but they're not playing on the same page right here, as ZKQ does spot them, but gets taken out easily. And now this puts Bolts in a weird, awkward spot, and then he just ran over, and Team Liquid just run away with this round and make it look a little easy. Just, I mean, it's
yeah, this is the kind of strat you want to do when you think that the CTs might have saved one of the weaker guns or so, right? You kind of want to walk in and let the more powerful AKs do the work, and that's just what they did. As a CT side, you kind of want to set up in terms of that thinking, right? You might want to put one of your SMGs closer, put the FAMAS closer to take the damage, maybe use the utility behind the FAMAS. So I think that, you know, Immortals can make those decisions to get to the next level, right? Instead of Bolts playing top pop there, he could have played under the tarp, you know, angle where Flusha always plays. That would have been a good setup. And also the guy getting picked off, I think it was ZQK top oil train there. He should have just spotted and fallen off. Yeah. I'm not really sure, though. But they did end up winning the map, right? So it's all gravy.
I mean, you win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some. And ultimately, I know you guys didn't have any faith in them winning, but they did.
All right.
And that's just how it went down. But it makes it just a little bit more tough when you've got boosts and setups like this next one. Let's take a look at round 20, a very innovative way to take outside.
Yeah, I thought this was really cool, and I wanted to highlight it for you guys so maybe you could use it in some of your scrims. So Nitro is getting out quick down the speedway lane here. He jumps on the side of the red train and boosts Elige up on top of him, right? So when we talk about Elige being the best player in NA, it's because of guys like Nitro who are setting him up, right? It's guys like DeBears who are doing the thankless jobs you know, being the good teammates, right? Those are the roles that people like DeBarris fills, right? He's a team player. Nitro's going to be lower on the scoreboard because he's going to be setting up a leash for kills like that all day, baby.
I'll frag though.
Right? So like that's a cool play right there. That gives them the entry on the round, and they're going to take back green quad area, which I always think is an important area to take before you plant on the outside. You want to clear the whole outside yard before you plant, and that's just exactly what Liquid does here. And they make it a 10-10 scoreline after this round, and it looks good for them, right? But Immortals showing that Brazilians, the word that you invented, Trace, I'm going to give that one to you because you did invent that.
Man.
Right? So I'm going to take the high road here, and instead of battling with you on the desk, I'm going to say you did something good. So eat that, right? You've been negative all day at this desk, and I'm going to be happy and say you did something good.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not.
All right. We're going to move past that one. That one got just a little out of hand. Either way, guys, we do see Train kind of end out in that fashion. It kind of sets us up for our next matchup. We're going to be jumping into Cobble. So right away, I guess we can kind of deduce now that this whole factor of, you know, is this roster in turmoil? Are they going to be able to do anything as a new functioning 5? I think more so now, could we potentially see a game on our hands going into Cobble?
Well, after a 16-14 on Train, I mean, Cobble is one of Liquid's more favorite maps, but it could be the same thing with Immortals. They love playing the map as well. And it seems like with Immortals, it doesn't matter who they put in or change out, their timings is always so good. And, like, I don't know what they do.
Zach
practices
Zach's putting something in the water out there.
They're putting something because it doesn't matter if it's EKQ, Horvey, or whoever. It looks like they've been a team for, you know, longer than a week or two. It's crazy.
I'm gonna let you guys save some of it. You don't want to just blow it out there too early or whatever. Anyway, we're gonna be going to a quick break. When we come back, we're jumping into Cobble in the last map of the week, so you better be here with us or else.